Promising you, there is more fun to come. Ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome Olaf Schubert. Olaf's topic for today is What a Wonderful Day. What a Wonderful Day, Olaf Schubert.
Mr. Contest Chair, ladies and gentlemen, who's been to a camel race before? Right, I've got a couple. 3. Camel races are great fun. Now, Michael and I took Michael 2 years ago to Boulia, to the camel race there. And believe me, we came back with more than just a great experience. We arrived early, I'd taken the ute down, and we had Mike, myself, and Sally the dog in the back. We got there and the dog went absolutely berserk seeing the first camel, so I had to park the car further away than what we expected. The day went well. It was a carnival of colours. It was filled with crazy characters. We had lousy losers and warm winners, and at the end of the day, we ended up in the booze tent. Stuck in a corner with an American called Chuck from Texas. His favourite conversations were rodeos around the world, the planes he's travelled in, and of course the booze he drank. And he finished every sentence with, "Guys, what a wonderful day." Well, I left him there with Mike because it was about time. I hadn't seen Sally for a while. And as I left, the PA announcement came over that they were going to auction off a camel. As I stepped outside, there was a camel with a beautiful crimson blanket and golden tassels, spitting and snarling, being led by a short strap. I walked off to Sally. She hadn't seen me for a while, and it was that time of day she wanted to go for a walk. So I patted her on the head, filled the water bowl, and lied to her. I'll be back later for a walk. In the meantime, Chuck had heard the PA announcement and decided, Mick, we're going off. I'm gonna miss this goddamn camel auction. So he went and got 2 tumbles of beer, one in each hand, put Mike in the crook of his arm, and out he went, made his way to the front of the queue by simply going, elbowing his way through and endearing himself to the crowd by saying, "Make way for the blind guy. Give the blind guy a go." Subtly. I arrived and the auction was well into it at that time. I've got $1,500. $1,500 for this camel. The camel's worth $3,000. This camel won the 3rd race in today. He's worth at least 3. Come on, somebody give me $1,550. I'm only looking for $1,550. Nobody out there. I'm going to sell him for $1,500. $1,500 going once. I'm looking for $1,550. $1,500 going twice. Unbeknownst to me at that point, Chuck, inebriated, just standing like that, reached back, hit Michael, who instinctively went, "Your bid, sir, $1,550, thank you." I have $1,550, I'm going, so I want $1,600. $1,600 for a camel, he's worth double that. Did I see Michael put up his cane? Yeah. I got $1,550. Somebody give me $1,600, I haven't got $1,600, I got to sell him for $1,550. $1,550 going once. I'm sure I saw Michael put up his cane. $1,550 going twice. Of course it was Michael, there's nobody out there with a cane with a wave ball on the end of the thing. Sold! No! Too late, sir. The gentleman over there with the cane's got the camel. You can't bid any more, that's a fair bid. I raced over there before he got to Michael. I said, "Mate, for God's sake, this is my blind brother-in-law. He wouldn't bid on a camel." The bid was fair. The cane went up high in the air, and I put him down. That man now is the proud owner of Abu Ghraib. You're his brother-in-law. I take cash, bank checks, or plastic. What will it be? $1,550 went out of the plastic like that. In the meantime, Chuck through his bloodshot eyes, saw me talking to the auctioneer, turns to Michael and says, "Michael, Olaf just bought that goddamn camel." Michael turns to me and says, "Olaf, why did you buy the camel?" The camel's doing circuits in my head. Cost of transport. Hey, where the hell do I put him? And in the meantime, while this is going on in my head, Chuck has climbed up to the top rail of the stock rail with his beer mug in his hand and calls out, "I've never ridden a camel before, but I'm sure going to ride this baby." And just then he's about to straddle the wrong foot over the camel. Sally comes running down through towards me with his damn leather strap in his jaw, smiling, sees Abu Ghraib the camel and heads for Abu Ghraib. Chuck in the meantime gets onto the camel reverse, hangs onto the saddle backwards, and the camel takes off. He's gone up straight up. He's up to the perimeter fence. The silly jockey's still on the camel. The silly dog's still behind him. He turns. He comes past the stock rail. Ringer steps out. Throws a loop over the neck. Holds onto him, but forgets to tie him off. Gets jerked into the dirt. Dragged along. He hasn't finished. As he's hanging on to one arm, he loops it, throws it over the peg of the boost tent. That should hold the camel. Straight out of the peg, down comes the boost tent. All the drinkers are standing there wondering what the hell happened. Boost tent hits Michael on the side of the leg. Michael falls onto the canvas, and they're off. There's a crazy camel with a wide-eyed drunk American hanging onto the saddle on the back, still sloshing an empty beer container. There's a stupid, deliriously happy dog up its legs, and this poor ringer still scrambling into the dust, dragging along, heading out. This moving montage is heading westward in a cloud of dust into the golden sun. Now that lot would still be running today if it hadn't been for a stump. They caught that snagged the canvas, that stopped the camel dead in its track, and poor old Chuck chucked all over that crimson golden blanket and tassels. The ringer rolled past the camel, and Michael slid into the dog and held him, thank goodness. I raced up. The managers came up, and they wanted to talk to me about my camel and the damages to the beer tent. Well, I explained to them that it wasn't the fault of the dog. Of course, it was the fault of the American getting onto the camel on the wrong side that started to get the camel racing, and of course the dog just joined in for a bit of fun. The good part about it was that Chuck was so inebriated that he wasn't with the program, and he agreed to pay for the tent. Thank you, Chuck. Well, today that camel lives in Oak Valley. Well, no longer racing, but rides for the kids. And Chuck is still a friend. He comes over from the States, and we sit on our veranda every so often. And he tells the yarn of how he tamed the wildest camel in Australia. And of course, after a few beers, it always ends up with, "Guys, that day in Booyah, what a great day."